Yo, 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 it's Bustian from Bosslifehacks.com, and we're here in beautiful Barcelona with my man Mike from Psychoactive, his YouTube channel. And today we have some alternative topics for you, okay? We will be talking about psychedelics, we'll be talking about lucid dreaming, and some other really cool topics like that. So, Mike, maybe just as we start, a couple of words about you, like what's your YouTube channel about, which sort of topics you like to talk about, just so that my viewers can get to know you.
Actually, my YouTube channel is mostly about getting more conscious, and I started with like going on my consciousness journey, how I call it, with getting into psychedelics, and over the way through psychedelics I got more into stuff like lucid dreaming, astral projection, meditation, holotropic breathing, and everything that opens up my mind to like new dimensions.
Sick, yeah. And to be honest, those are the topics that we need to talk more about, you know, because, okay, in self-development circles, we only talk about business, game, and fitness, right? It's like the three big, right? But spirituality is also very important, right? Now, to be honest, I don't have a lot of experience, or actually any, with any sort of psychedelics, lucid dreamings. Like, I read about it, I'm interested, but I think Mike can share a lot of, you know, good insights on that. We both do meditation. Meditation is dope. You can check my other videos on meditation, but let's start maybe with I'll introduce an idea and then maybe you tell me what you think.
Yeah,
So
sure,
about
yeah.
psychedelics, for example, I read a lot about ayahuasca, right?
Yeah.
Or different forms of, you know, using even LSD to kind of acquire different states of mind, so you can kind of realize some truths about life that you normally can't. So what's your thoughts on this topic?
I think psychedelics are definitely a path. A lot of people say it's a shortcut, but actually I don't care about it because it goes to the same goal, a path to enlightenment and being more conscious. And the last couple of weeks I've been doing so much meditation and doing so much consciousness work with myself. I kind of feel like I'm on LSD right now. It's a kind of similar state. So I definitely think you can reach the same state you get from LSD, like the presence, like the awareness, like the feeling you get from other people, not just like the trippy alien space kind of stuff, but like a new point of view on the world from like psychedelics as you do it from meditation.
Maybe let's follow this thought. Maybe if you can share with us like some of your personal experiences of maybe when you had like some trips or some experiences, like how did it like concretely change your point of view? Like what are some actual realizations that you had, you know, after you experienced these things? Are there any? Or
Yeah, there are definitely a lot. That's a really, really hard question because we are talking here in like human language, and we are kind of limited to just our words, which came from our thoughts. And like these experiences you have on psychedelics, they are not even capable of being formed into like words. It's like if you want to explain a blind person a color, there's no way to put it. But what I've realized this year a lot is that it's really important to integrate this experience in your life and to really see how you can use it in your all-the-day situations. All-the-day, yeah, I think it's called everyday situations, exactly. And yeah, there comes meditation and like a consciousness, mindful living into place, which helps you to understand what you've just experienced from the trips, because most of the trips you just get off the trip really fast and then what the fuck just happened to me? It was like amazing, it was like bad, it was like crazy. But you, like I said, you can't even put it in words. So you have to find a way you dig it out of your unconscious part of your brain, of your existence, and put it into your conscious day-to-day situations.
So maybe one thing that a lot of people mention, you know, especially in terms of like ayahuasca, maybe LSD as well. As I said, I don't really have experience, but I'm interested in learning more and potentially trying it out at some point. They talk about ego dissolvement or like becoming like I know these topics are kind of like woo, but I think they're very important to explore, right? Or like kind of feeling of like being one with the world and the universe and things like that, right? So did you have any sort of like ego realizations, or like did you feel more connected, or like I know it's hard to describe it with words, but maybe like just so people could kind of imagine, you know, how it's like or what happens.
Yeah, definitely had a lot of ego dissolvements, and I really learned that if your ego dies, everything dies, because actually that thing that keeps you in this world, your existence, your past, your future, every expectation is your ego. So if you're just imagining like your ego is dying, it feels like actual death, and that's not funny at all. It's fucking crazy. But what I really realized, that if I let go of all attachment and desire, if I'm not afraid of death anymore, and like I often have the thought, so what if when I die right now, what about my parents, my friends, whatever what I've achieved? But if you let go of this, of everything you had, your ego was clinched to, you just in a pure state of love. It's like, I don't know where this saying is coming from, but ego, human beings minus the ego equals God, and God is the pure love, and there's no way to describe it. I don't mean like this platonic love you have like in relationships or shit. It's like first love for yourself, and the more you love yourself, the more you love the rest of the world, and it gets kind of reflected.
Shit, that's some good thoughts, you know, like human minus ego equals God. That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I need to think about this. You want to add on something?
Yeah, I want to add on, there was like this book like Course of Miracles, and it says like the opposite of love is not hate, like the most people think about it. The opposite of love is fear. Because if you see something, you see the person, you want to greet him or say, yeah girl, you have a cool dresses and stuff, and you don't do it, you haven't been able to share the love you wanted to do, and that's because of your fear. So if you get rid of your fears, there's more space for love.
Yeah, that's insane, and that actually even in real life kind of works, because if you like shift your mindset to, okay, like the world is not against me, but everybody just like wants to be loved and wants to be like happy, then you can engage better. But
Definitely, yeah.
a word of caution first. The reason why I haven't gone into psychedelics yet is because I don't feel that like I'm stable enough to do it. Like, I hate the feeling of being out of control. So, and I had like 2 times very bad trips from brownies, right? That's the only form of closeness to this it was. So I don't want to do it yet, because when I was doing research online, a lot of people said, okay, they had amazing realizations, their life changed, but some people also went nuts, right? Now, went nuts can be both negative and positive, I guess it depends, but maybe from your experience, if you're kind of interested in going towards psychedelics, maybe playing around, trying something, what do you need to be like thinking about, how to make sure that like that it's safe, or maybe a few general guidelines, you know?
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to take psychedelics, because it's not like fun. It's like a weapon. You can use it for good or bad, but it's a really brutal weapon. And okay, yeah, it takes a lot of courage to take psychedelics, because it really brings you to your own core of existence. And it's also the same like meditation and like every work of your consciousness. You feel the pain and the shit you stuffed all your life down and down and down, and there's nothing more dangerous to dig into this part of your psyche, because there's all your fear, beginning the fear of other people, to the fear of heights, till the fear of death. And the more you dig, the more shit comes out. So it's really, yeah, it takes a lot of courage, and it's really a crazy thing to do. And
If I can share something as
yeah,
well.
sure.
So yeah, like we'll go on a little bit about lucid dreaming as well, but maybe just as a guiding thought, if you, because for example, like probably not the full scope of experience, but like small parts of it, I guess I got while I was doing the 10-day Vipassana meditation as well, and that's like very intense. You go very deep inside, right? And as he said, it's not fun. Like it's intense, right? So
But
if
afterward it gets better, right?
yes, it does. You get changed, you know, but not like flowery, happy change. Like, it's just different. But what I wanted to say is, if you're considering playing around with this, make sure it's safe, okay? Please do your homework, do a lot of research. if you're doing some ayahuascas, make sure that your guides or shamans or whatever are legit. Like, really don't fuck around with this. Don't just like take a shitload of shrooms with your best bro and see what happens, because like you can end up you can end up in some fucked up shit, right? All right, so those were the psychedelics, and now let's go a little bit into the lucid dreaming, right? So I read a lot about it. I've never done it because I'm a bit afraid of it. But basically, lucid dreaming should be like you dreaming and then like a video game. You can make anything happen because you know you're dreaming, but you have like God powers. So maybe tell us a little bit about your experience, how to get into it. Like, what is it like?
Like we just heard, like lucid dreaming is when you realize that you are dreaming, and I think the most of you had this experience. Even like before waking up, you just can control the last seconds of a dream. But if you practice it, you can control a whole dream, and it's actually really easy to practice. And I love this practice because this thing you practice is called reality checks, and it also gets you more present during the real life we are experiencing right now. And reality checks are basically you are not able to breathe through the nose during the dreams, or you have no short-term memories. So a reality check could look like trying to breathe through a nose, and if you can do it, even if it's closed, it's a dream. Or like looking at your fingers, you have 5 fingers, looking back, you have 6 fingers, because no short-term memory, the reality is changing all the time in a dream.
All right, so maybe tell us a few of the things that you've done while you were lucid dreaming. Like, what did you try out first? Like, what's kind of fun to do? Like,
yeah, the first thing, I think like every guy would do the same, or even girls. I was like, realized that it's a dream, and I was like, what the fuck? I finally did it. I got really nervous, and suddenly I was able to fly, and I flew through a city, and the buildings were exploding behind me. And then I flew through a village, and there was like this beautiful girl at a lemon selling street, and yeah, they totally fucked her. And yeah, it's crazy because you can do literally everything, but there are not only fun parts, there are also like parts that really improve your life and enhance your life, because you have like a direct way to communicate with your subconsciousness.
okay, can you tell us a little more about this? So, for example, you learn, you do these reality checks, you learn how to kind of control your dream, lucid dream. So how can you use this to like improve yourself or to grow or to get new realizations?
I've read about like professional sport players that just practice like tennis, or even guitarists just practice in the dreams. And I've also done it, and if you have the power of your subconsciousness, you're so capable of doing so many different things. As example, I've built like a city like an architect, and it looked so amazing. I had no idea I'm capable of this. Or you also can get rid of fears. If you have you're afraid of spiders, you just imagine a spider, because in your dream you can't die. There's no reason to be afraid. So if you face it often enough, maybe your subconsciousness will realize that, yeah, you don't have to be afraid of spiders.
That's insane. That sounds really good. So yeah, okay, so we know a little bit of how it looks like, how you can get there, but maybe let's talk about dangers now. For example, why I haven't tried it out is because I was afraid of, not being able to tell reality, okay? So if you do lucid dreaming a lot, then you wake up and you're not sure whether you're awake or just dreaming, fuck. And then you think it's a lucid dream, you think you can fly, you jump out of the window, you die, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, totally. The thing with lucid dreaming is it totally shows you that the perception of reality we have is not like it seems like, because in a lucid dream you also think everything is totally true, and you're flying around, or zombies living around with you, or some alien space fucked up shit, and you totally think it's the truth and the reality until you do a reality check and think, oh my god, it's a dream. And then your brain starts, so if I really think if my brain is really capable of thinking the dream is my reality for 100% certainty, it also makes you questioning this reality, because in a dream your senses can can like fake you. I have no idea what it's called. Like
fool you.
fool you. Yeah, your senses can fool you, and we are also experience this reality through our senses. So why should we trust our senses?
And I think that's a very good closing thought. Why should we trust our senses? Amazing content, Mike. Amazing. So,
Thank you, man.
if
Really
anybody
enjoyed.
wants to know more, drop us questions under the comments. We'll post description to Mike's video there. Connect with him also on Facebook and other social media if you have any questions for him. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know, let us know if you're doing any of these techniques, which ones are your preferred, what you maybe want to try but are afraid of. We'll answer to those. And yeah, have a great day and regards from Barcelona. GG!